Before I ever called myself an artist, I was just a kid staring into mirrors, trying to understand who I was.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Samantha. I am 38 years old and I'm from Valencia, California, now living in Las Vegas, Nevada.
When did you first realize you were an artist?
I have always been creating art. I remember in high school, I didn't care about learning about history and science. The homework was only fun if I got to pick the pen colors and work on my handwriting and the layout of the page. I think uh, I think they called it Magellan. There was a certain type of way that you would lay out note taking that was like columns, and I had fun making that look pretty, but I didn't care so much about learning all that. I was focused on art from a young age. I don't know if I even consider myself an artist right now. I would like to be, but art is a hobby. I think I'm good at it. I just don't know if I would call myself an artist yet. I don't know. I've made I've made a few sales. I've built a website. I feel like I'd have to be very successful to call myself an artist. And right now, I just say that I'm a hobbyist, aspiring artist. Maybe when I can quit my real job, then I would call myself an artist.
What drew you to self-portraiture specifically?
When I was in high school, I started taking photography and I got tired of taking pictures of inanimate objects. They're fun. I like doing that. And nature is nice too. I love it. But there was something different about photographing people. And it was hard to find willing participants to uh, have their pictures taken. I was more, I didn't have the biggest following of friends in high school. This was before social media, so I'm not talking about that kind of following. I had best friends, and then I was friends with their friends, but I wasn't a social butterfly. I never have really enjoyed doing normal things that build mass amounts of friends. So I was more introverted. I am more introverted, and I prefer to be at home and listen to music or make art, play with my animals. I couldn't find people to that many. I did have friends and I did take their pictures. It was just not very often. And so I ended up becoming my own model. And it was less nerve wracking to tell someone, hey, turn here, look there, do this, do that when I was younger, because I was just telling myself to do it. Um, it was fun. It was fun playing dress up.
How did your relationship with art begin?
My relationship with art, I my mother saw that I was creative and she put me in an art school. I don't know if you'd call it a school, classes, and we would do different mediums from acrylic to oil and charcoal and colored pencils. And yeah, uh, that I guess was my start into taking it to the first level, aside from just markers on a paper at home.
Were you encouraged creatively growing up?
Creatively growing up, I this is a stupid question. We just answered it.
How did you get into photography?
So photography, I remember high school. It was time to pick a elective for school, high school, and I saw photography on the list, and I I thought that would be cool. I suppose I don't fully remember. I knew my dad had cameras, or maybe I found out my dad had cameras once I joined. I don't remember the timeline of it, but it did work out that I enrolled in photography, black and white photography, film photography 101. I believe that's probably what it was called. I don't know. And I used his old cameras. I'm looking at them right now. Uh, yeah, let's see. Where's the first camera I ever used? This is uh, this is one of the first cameras that I ever used. Not my favorite. I'm not sure where that one is right now. I broke that one actually, but yeah, I had a bunch of film cameras. And how do we even open this one? I gotta get back to the film photography. Anyways, what was the question? Yeah, I enrolled in black and white photography in high school and used my dad's cameras, and he had a few. One generic one by Sears, and then this Yashica, and another one was my favorite. Yeah, that's pretty much how I began.
Why film photography, and what does it mean to you?
Film photography because back in 2001, we didn't have digital photography uh, in school. I don't believe we did yet. There probably were digital cameras, but yeah, I just started in film. It's just what was available to me in high school, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I really became back then a film snob. When I did know about digital, I used to say that I never wanted to go to digital because I enjoyed working in the dark room, developing the film and developing the prints. Uh, but as I got out of high school, it was hard to work in a dark room. So I did join photography classes in college. I enrolled in college just to use the dark room. I didn't have any other purpose to get any kind of education. So I joined Santa Monica City College to use their dark room, and I joined College of the Canyons in my hometown, Valencia, for their dark room. But then life got busy and I became a hairstylist, and it was hard to always be enrolled in college just for photography, and I never had a space to develop, create a darkroom and develop my own films. So I kind of just stopped doing photography for a while, and I missed it. I missed it a lot.
What's the difference between photographing others and photographing yourself?
I would like to photograph others more. It's been a while since I've photographed anybody besides myself. I feel like when I'm behind the camera, not the model, photographing others, I get to truly just melt into being a photographer. And I really get to mess with the settings and the angles and be really present in the process when I am shooting myself or photographing myself. It's it's all I really know or what I know most, but I feel I get limited by I'm more limited on getting the shots that I want because I can't, it's hard to move the camera in the positions I want on the fly and just have all that control behind the camera when I'm in front of it. So it's slightly more overwhelming to make sure that I am in focus, make sure I am in frame, dealing with feeling self-conscious about how I look. Is it the right angle for flattering myself and my insecurities? It's very different, but it's what I know most.
What goes through your mind when you scan old self-portraits now?
Scanning old self portraits now, it's different. It's weird. Let's say it's weird to see myself so young and creative and free spirited. And I don't actually remember back then doing my self portraits, it was film. So I had no clue if it was in focus or going to even develop. Was I going to mess up the development of the negatives? That happened a few times, or maybe I shot it underexposed or overexposed. You never know till you develop the. Stop it! You never know till you develop the images. So it was interesting that I don't remember feeling anxiety about that, about wasting film. I don't remember feeling stress about if it was going to come out or if all this energy I was expending was going to even pay off for a photo. I never stressed. I just had fun with it. And I I see just a younger, free spirited self.
What themes do you explore in your work?
In my work now, I have focused a lot more on the surreal self portraits and digital art. And the themes are a lot of times they'll come to me from real life moments, real life feelings and emotions. I it, and usually it is me trying to communicate how I feel, um, or trying to process something, a experience.
What does self-portraiture teach you about yourself?
Self-portraiture teaches me that I need to be easy on myself, especially when I look back on these images from when I was younger and wish I could go back there. And I know in another 10 years, these images that I take now that I think are horrible, unflattering pictures of me sometimes. I know in 10 years I will be wanting to be back here So it teaches me about self-love and acceptance, and it also teaches me to be uncomfortable and push through and have fun with it. Stop getting so stuck in your head, and don't let the fear and anxiety hold you back.
How do you know when a piece is done?
How do I know when a piece is done? I never know when a piece is done. Um, I really don't. I have posted so many times pictures, and after the fact had more ideas, or wanted to fix something, and I just sometimes I do. A lot of times I say, you know what, it's done. I posted it. Moving on. But I never really know. I never know when it's done. There's times when I never, I never even finish it at all. It never meets that standard that I was looking for, and sometimes I do post it anyways, unfinished. You know,
Is your art more about self-expression, documentation, or healing?
I would say my art is more about self-expression, um, not so much documentation and healing. I think the process of art is healing, but it is more self expression for me than anything.
How has your work changed over the years?
So, over the years, I have gone from film photography to digital photography to digital art slash photography. But I still would like to go back to doing film and just plain old photography, but lately it has just been mostly digital art, portraits, if you will call it that.
What do your older self-portraits say about who you were then?
Back then, I was, as I've said, free spirited and funky, and she didn't care as much about what people thought. She created more just to create, whereas now, as an adult, I do create just to create, but also with the intent that I would like to make a career out of it. I would like to make money with it. I would like to shift out of working for others and work for myself. So it's also different in the way that there is social media now to battle. It's a battle. It really is a battle, this social media thing. Um, I miss when it wasn't around, actually. But now everything is trying to be aesthetically pleasing for the gram, uh, or how many likes you're going to get, how many comments, interaction, your algorithm. Mine sucks. It really sucks. So it's really hard to make a name for yourself in this world of social media artists and creators. There's amazing creators and artists, and so it's hard to be seen when you're. I'm just now trying to get on the bandwagon when I feel like the people who started years ago had the algorithm in their favor. Now the algorithm starting now is not great. It's not great. Yeah.
Do you see yourself differently now than you did in those photos?
Do I see myself differently now? Of course. Of course I do. I'm older. I am older. All that comes along with that. I've been through a lot of uh, a lot more life experiences. I am more reserved. Uh, I don't even know if that's the right term.
What would you tell your younger self, the one behind the camera, years ago?
I would tell my younger self to stay with art, stay with photography, and don't do hair. It was a great experience being a hairstylist, but I would have said stuck with hair. I mean, stuck with photography and art, and don't let the fears get to you, the fears of not being good enough, or I don't know. I didn't follow my artist's drive back then because I didn't want to just be a what's it called, a wedding photographer. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to. I like the idea of being a National Geographic photographer, but I just thought I was not as rugged or adventurous, or I thought I didn't have the right personality, so I never pursued that. And then I like the idea of fashion photography, working for like Vogue magazine, but again, I thought I didn't have the right personality to make it to that level. Um, so I didn't pursue photography, and I wish I had. There was a point when before going to cosmetology school, I wanted to go to photography school, and I would tell my younger self to try it, go for it. Maybe then I would have ended up doing hair. I don't know, but I would like to see an alternate universe with that storyline played out, where I'd be now.
Why is it important for you to be seen?
I have always felt misunderstood, and art for me is a way to try to communicate the way I see the world, the way I experience the world, and emotions and life events. But I still feel misunderstood. I still feel like people don't get me. But just because I feel that way, I'm not going to stop creating and stop trying to be understood.
What does being an artist mean to you now?
Being an artist now is just, as an adult, is just playing around, being that inner child, giving into the inner child, not holding back, not abstaining from your creative desires. It is acting on them when so many people are afraid to act and create and make things. I guess that's creating, but I see so many people now that they just go to work and then they sit on the couch and watch TV and they don't act on their passions. So to me, being an artist is acting on your creative passions.
Why do you keep creating?
For me, when I create, it is when I am feeling the most in the moment. Time stops. It doesn't feel like it's going slow. It doesn't feel like it's going fast. I don't stress about what's next. And it's therapeutic for me. So why stop?
What are you still trying to discover through your art?
I'm still trying to discover how to make it big. No, just kidding. I mean, not really, but discover I am trying to find more time and energy to get out into life, to have more real elements to my photography. So let's just say if my image is me standing in a field with a bathtub. I don't know why I said that one, but I'm going to roll with it. So right now, usually I am using stock photos through Envato Elements. So they're I get the rights. I pay for it. It's a service. I'm not just stealing them, but right now I'm using stock photos and compiling them together of the field and the bathtub and then myself. So I would like to start getting out into that field with a real bathtub, stuff like that. Real props, real experiences, but I don't have the resources and time to do that at the moment. So I've gotten good at digital compositing.
If your art had a voice, what would it be saying?
If my art had a voice, it would be saying, take care of your mental health and love yourself. Invest in yourself, you know, and be brave.
What do you hope people feel when they see your work?
I hope that when people see my work, they feel like it's beautiful, dark, even if it's dark and eerie, or I still hope that they see it as beautiful and maybe that they can relate. But I guess that is a feeling. Yeah. I want it to be relatable. I want maybe that they can understand me, like I've said. Yeah.
What has been your biggest challenge as an artist, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge of being an artist is just trying to be an artist, and not worry about what other people think, and to try to get your art out there. Um, the biggest challenge, trying to make it, trying to build a social media presence to boost your business. That's a challenge. That is a challenge. Beat the algorithm, go viral on TikTok. Shit, I can't even get 1,000 followers on Instagram. I shouldn't say that. That's so negative. But, I see these people online complaining about their social engagement and they have 100,000 followers. And I'm just like, I would kill for that. I really would. I would kill to have 10,000 followers, 1,000 followers. Like, how many followers do I have right now? It's sad. I don't even want to know. Let's see. 201 followers. I'm not making this up. I don't know if you could see that. 201 followers, guys. So, yeah. That's uh that's my biggest challenge, just trying to make it so I can do art and be an artist and follow my dreams of freedom and travel and life.
Where do you see your art career in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, maybe I can get that 1,000 followers. Maybe I can get 100 sales. Maybe I can have a successful YouTube channel that maybe I can be at art events, art shows, trade shows, festivals, maybe a gallery. I don't know if I see myself there, but I sure would like to. These old film self portraits, some forgotten, some never developed, they hold pieces of me.